What am I missing here? I don't understand what he means by this isn't every single song out there. Perhaps, if he watches this, he can give an answer. Maybe I'm just a dumbass and I don't get it. I believe this is video number 5 of Coattail Writing. Saw a title, rather clickbaity, I think, called Why Every Song Has This and You Need to Know About It. So I have not watched this yet. I don't know this channel either. But the channel is Creative Guitar Studio. Clearly doing a heck of a lot better than I am right now. Yeah, let's see what every song has. Now, looking at the thumbnail, that's just a triad. That is a D major triad right there. D major chord. So, let's see what we can learn here. Let's see what every song has. Every single song has this. You know, and if you've seen other videos from me about this stuff, you know I don't like those absolutes. So, well, all right, here we go. Let's find out what every single song in the world has and why we need to know this.
Hello, Andrew Wasson from CreativeGuitarStudio.com. So today, I'd like to start by playing through a key signatures harmony. You know, sadly, tons of guitar players will play for years sometimes without knowing about this stuff, which is too bad because it is a topic that every guitar player needs to know how to understand on guitar. So let's get things started by learning the sound of a single note harmony played on guitar.
Okay, so what he played there. All right, I'm going to try playing it the way he did now. So basically, he was just going through your triad stuff there, playing your C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C, and then backwards. C, B diminished, A minor, G major, F, E minor, D minor, C. And he did it in a rather unique way there. That way or this way, and then C. I don't think I did it quite the way he did. Anyway, let's continue watching him.
In that example I just played you, each note of every chord was related to the C major key's harmony, and I played it on the fingerboard in position as arpeggios. It's a very common practice routine. Now, the importance of learning this is one of those critical music skills because every song that you'll ever play and every song that you've ever listened to applies this idea in some way, shape, or form. And learning about it in several different places of the neck in all the musical keys is a huge benefit. So let's start with a theory lesson about what this idea is and where it comes from. Here in our music theory discussion, I'm going to go over the C major harmony, and it's a diatonic chord harmony, which means that all of the notes that we have that build these different chords are found from the C major scale. Now, the first letter that we have through here, this is the scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The chord types are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, and B diminished. And in most music, what you're going to find happen is a majority of the sounds that we're going to deal with will be encompassing the first 6 chords, which are C major through A minor. The B diminished is a rather unstable sound, so diminished tends to be kind of tough, to find in a...
So, him talking about this stuff, like every song kind of thing, I'm assuming he's talking more like pop music, because there's plenty of stuff I listen to they're not focused on, those first 6 chords at all. Like extreme metal stuff? No, very much not. I do believe this stuff, is good to know because it can help you understand all kinds of music stuff. The more theory you know, the more sounds you have at your disposal to mess with. But as of right now, I don't see how this pertains to the more extreme stuff where it's very atonal and it's not focused on chords in key at all. But hey, let's keep going and see what he has to say.
A lot of standard music out there, but it does have its place. Sometimes it is used as a way to create tension, but for the most part, we're going to see the first 6 chords of a key's harmony in major that are going to be used in most styles of music out there. That's why it's important to understand another concept called harmonic degree.
No, there you go. He did say most music. Fair enough. Most music, sure, definitely.
Degrees. Now, these harmony degrees are really important because that's how we go universal to all the different keys that are out there. You can see here the uppercase Roman numerals are identifying the majors, the lowercase Roman numerals, like we'll find here on the 2 and 3 and 6. Those are indicating the minor chords, and then we have a diminished, of course, as well. That's mainly minor, so that's why we're utilizing the lowercase on that one. And so those are important to help you understand where your placement is at in other keys, like if you went to the key of F major or A flat major or whatever it might be. Now, another thing that's very important is the primary steps that we have, because in music it's very popular to find a lot of songs built off the root chord as well as utilizing the 4th and the 5th chords. That's why that term in progressions, the 1-4-5 progression, is so popular. The other chords like the 2, 3, and 6, they can get used interchangeably throughout a progression. And once you begin analyzing progressions using this system more and more, you'll start to not only become very recognizable to you of what these are doing in songs, but your ear will get better and you'll be able to hear this stuff quicker, faster as it's being applied. So
yeah, I like that part there, where he talks about the more you learn this stuff, the more you practice it, the more you will hear it in other songs you listen to, and that's very true. Even with power chord based stuff, it doesn't have to be, those chords there, like doing a C major, like the C, F, G, 1-4-5 progression. It doesn't always have to be done with those kinds of chords. It certainly can be done with the power chords instead. But yeah, I noticed those kinds of things a lot with Maiden. They do a lot of 6, 5, 4, 5. And they also do, now they do the pop punk progression a lot of times, where they do the 6, 4, 1, 5. So, in melodic music, you definitely hear these kinds of chord progressions happen often. Even if it's just power chord based, it still has the same kind of idea of the root note structure happening. Let's continue.
Take this exercise that I have here, maybe pull it to some other keys. You can maybe go through some of the sharp keys and flat keys. Once you do a few keys with this and you lay it all out, it's going to be a lot easier for you to understand the whole cycle of its use. But what we're going to do next is we're going to go into applying these ideas to the guitar so you really get a good idea of how it's used.
Coming up next, we're going to learn an arpeggio harmony as a technique exercise. Plus, we'll learn how to play a regional chord harmony done along the neck. And we'll also learn a song-based application example. So there's lots of great stuff coming up next. The harmony exercise that I went through at the start of this lesson is one of the most basic examples of practicing the harmonized steps of a key that a lot of guitar players will study when they get started into this topic. So let's take a few minutes right now and slowly walk through this lesson's key of C major harmony. It's not only good to learn this for its music theory foundation, but it's also a nice guitar technique exercise as well. The first thing that we're going to do is take a look at an ascending harmony exercise in the key of C major. It sounds like this. So we're ascending from chords that are traveling through the key off of this first C major chord at 8th fret, 6th string. We have frets 8, 7, and 5 to take care of that chord. And then we're going to move through our next chord. It's D minor. It's going 5th fret and 8th fret on 5th string with the 7th fret of 4th string coming in. Then we're going to move through next an E minor. It's coming from the E at the 7th fret of 5th string, and then it's adding a 5th fret 4th string and a 4th fret 3rd string. Then we're going to move forward and do an F major. It's getting the frets of 8 off 5th string, 7th off 4th string, and 5th off 3rd string. Okay, then we're going to move into a G major arpeggio that's going through the notes of 5 on the 4th string, and then 4th and 7th on the 3rd string. And our next layout is for A minor. It goes 7th on the 4th string, and then 5th fret on 3rd and 2nd. And then we're going to finish things off with our B diminished chord. It's going to be built off the 3rd string, 4th fret, moving into 7th fret. And then we'll have a 6th fret on 2nd string. We'll finish everything off on the 5th fret of 3rd string. So once again, here's the whole ascending exercise. Next, we're going to do the descending harmony exercise in the key of C. Going backward, it sounds like this. All right, so from the top, we're doing B diminished this time. And that's coming from the 2nd string, 6th fret. And then on the 3rd string, we have 7th fret into 4th fret. And then we're doing a movement here going from the 5th fret 2nd string to the 5th fret 3rd string, and then we'll have 7th fret 4th string. That's covering the A minor. Then we're going to move next into G major. That one we're going to start with a 7th fret 3rd string into 4th fret, and then we're going to grab a 5th fret 4th string. Then next up we'll have F major. That's going to come from 3rd string going 5th fret, 4th string 7th fret, and 5th string 8th fret. The next one up is going to be E minor, and that's going to go from the 3rd string 4th fret, 4th string 5th fret, and 5th string 7th fret. Then next we're going to have D minor. That's going to come at it from the 4th string 7th fret, and then we'll move to 5th string. We'll get 8th fret and 5th fret. And then for the C major chord, the last one there, going down to the 6th string, we'll have 5th fret 4th string, 7th fret 5th string, and 8th fret on 6th string. All right, and that takes care of all the descending patterns through the C major harmony. Now that you understand how single note harmony can work on the guitar as arpeggios, the next step will get really interesting because we're going to make a study of triad chord harmony using a more what I'd call a song approach to the harmony. I'll cover a harmony that applies an along the neck layout, plus with that we're going to touch on some application ideas as well. So let's get right into this. From the study of single note harmony, we're going to move next into the world of 3-note chord harmony. This is often called triad harmony. So we're going to take a look at a C major triad harmonized in the key, coming at it from the C major into D minor here, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and then back to the C chord. I'll play it again for you. So that's the whole key of C major.
I'm curious if he's going to explain that he's using some inversions here. Well, I'm going to explain he's using some inversions anyway. So, what's going on here? So the first one he's got there, the 5-5-5. So the notes that make up a C major chord are C, E, and G. Typically see it like this, but that's a C, E, G, C again, and then E again. So you could also play a C major chord like this. You could play a C major chord like this. That's all acceptable. Anyway, so if you label these things interval structure, you get your 1, 3, and 5. First, third, and fifth. C is the 1, E is the 3, G is the 5. So here is basically taking this kind of C major bar chord. Often I'll play it just like this. And it's just using that part of it there. So he's actually starting with the fifth interval, then the first, then the third. So 5, 1, 3. Second inversion there. So he's starting with 5, 1, 3. And then here, that is the fifth interval, root note, flat third. So same structure. So we could have done it like that to that. But he went there. And then, same interval structure, 5, 1, flat 3. And then here it's taking that form of a major chord, which is basically taking a D major and then shifting that up, not playing the bass or the root note in the bass, staying with the whole 5, 1, 3. Then he goes into no inversion, just straight up 1, 3, 5, and then 1, 3, flat 5. So everything's stacked up in order, and the diminished 1, flat 3, flat 5, again stacked in order, and then back to our inversion. Whoop. Curious why he chose that. Perhaps he will explain why. I'm guessing he won't, though, because it might make the lesson too long. Let's continue.
Go through those chords step by step now. The first chord is pretty simple. It's just a fourth string to second string bar all across fifth fret. And then we're moving into what's typically seen on guitar as a standard open position D minor. So we got string 3 with the second fret, string 2 with the third fret, and then this first fret here on first string. That's a minor shape for D. If we slide it forward, we get a minor shape for E. And then if we jump forward into the fifth position, we're going to get a shape for F as a major. So the frets will be 5, 6, 5, but it's being done with the typical fingering that you'd have off of a standard D major chord. We're just sliding it into the fifth position, and now we add an F. After that, we're going to move to the fourth through second strings, and we're going to start with G major here in the third position, getting fourth string, fifth fret, third string, fourth fret, and second string, third fret. That's our G major chord there. Moving forward into the fifth position, we're going to have frets from the fourth string going 7, and then barring across third and second to get these two fifth frets, giving us an A minor. Then we're going to move into the sixth position with frets 9, 7, and 6 on the fourth, third, and second strings. That's giving us a B diminished chord right there, and then we're going to return back to our C major to wrap things up. So that's a really nice exercise. It'll get you going with the full harmony from the key of C major. And we'll move on next into a chord harmony song application. So what I'm going to do is take a series of those chords that we were just playing and put this into a little jam session for you. It's going to go like this. You can tell a really nice little riff there, and it's just using really 4 chords. We've got a C major, an A minor, an F major, and a G major, but all different types of...
So back to the numbered progression system he was talking about earlier. What would that be? So what did he say? C, A minor, F to G. 1, 6, 4. So yes, that is the correct, yeah, 1, 6, 4, 5. So let's hear what this jammy thing's gonna be.
The voicings spread out through that exercise that we were just doing with those chords. So let's kind of break this down and find out how it works. We're going to start on that C major that's barring from the 4th string to 2nd string with those 5th frets. And then all we need to do is bring in a 7th fret 4th string, keeping that bar there with those 2 5th frets at present, and that gives us A minor. Then what we're going to do next is in the 5th position on the top 3 strings, we're going to get frets 5, 6, 5, and that's going to give us an F chord up there. Top 3 strings, and then for the G, we're going to go back here into 3rd position, and again working off 4th through 2nd strings, we'll get frets 5, 4, and 3 to give us the G major. This is a very simple little riff. All right, and you can make 100 of these things if you want to, but all you got to do is study a little bit about how everything's organized on the neck, and I'm going to go into a lot more detail in the Patreon lesson for you, because I want to get you a method that you can use to understand how to pull this through all the other keys. So we're going to study that a little more intense, and then we're going to get a little bit more involved idea with a longer chord progression as well. But I think this stuff here from the YouTube video really gives you a good foundation on how this stuff works, and it's important because, like I said, it is found in every single song out there.
So I really don't know what he means by it's found in every single song out there. Unless he's talking about just like, are we talking about the chord progressions system is in every song out there? There's harmony in every song out there? That I don't get. What am I missing here? I don't understand what he means by this is in every single song out there. Perhaps it gets explained in more detail in the Patreon lesson he's given. Perhaps if he watches this, he can give an answer. Because right now, I mean, yeah, these arpeggiating triads to start with, and then he's taking some voicings of those chords and making a progression out of it. Good things to learn, I think. But as far as like this, I don't, maybe I'm just a dumbass and I don't get it. Keep forgetting I'm muting my mic. Yeah, he says, there's no place better for lessons than creativeguitar.com or whatever it was. You know, I once said something similar to that. So like the best guitar lessons in the Denver area. I was just trying it out to see, you know, how that would go. I upset one person. Yeah, well, I'll say this. Let's react to that part. There is no best place for anything when it comes to this sort of thing. His lessons may be the best for a certain group of people, but not for everybody. So there's, yeah, no better place. No, do not agree with that. It could be a very good place, but to say there's no better place, no. No. I'm curious how much he charges versus me. Whew! $50 for 30 minutes. He's more expensive than me.